Dino Luzzi energy drink. Yeah, it's that good.
He was telling a pretty cool story, and then me and Farrell like cut him off about something. I forget what we were speaking to him about. Yeah, I think I jumped on it. But
Drinking again.
He was speaking about when he was tag team with you, and my question was, being a white man in that time, wrestling with a black man, did he get a lot of pressure and a lot of problems with it? And then he started discussing something. I don't know if, Tony, if you could continue on with that story, if you remember.
Well, first of all, I want people to know Tommy Wildfire Rich is not my friend. He's my brother.
There you go.
His mother seen us together, and she said, "This is your brother. Y'all are brother." Me and Tommy Rich were like brothers. We did everything together. We fought together. We got drunk together. We got laid together. One time I was in Atlanta, Georgia, and Ole Anderson was the booker. They were part of the Minnesota record crew, Ole and Gene Anderson. The first Anderson brother was Laws and Gene. Mm-hmm. And then Ole came along later, and Ole had his big mouth, it was great on the microphone, so they started pushing Ole Anderson, and then finally Laws Anderson ended up leaving and left Gene and Ole. They called themselves Minnesota Rec Crew. But anyway, they came to the office, KKK members, and I hope I don't get in trouble, I'm going to talk the way they said it. Can I do that?
Yeah.
Okay. They came to the office to talk to Ole and a guy named Charlie Smith. Now, Charlie Smith is still alive. Ole is still alive, too, but from what I hear, he's kind of goofy. We always been goofy, but even more goofy now. And I love Ole, because Ole is a straight shooter. He would tell the truth, whether they heard or not. He'd tell the truth. If you had a bad match, Ole said, "You're that drizzling shits." He would just tell you that, But anyway, they came to the office, and me and Tommy was in there training some of the kids. They had a gym with the ring where they used to have wrestling there before they started going to the auditorium. And they said, "Hey, y'all bringing that nigger to our show?" And Ole Anderson said, "Yeah, we bringing our nigger." Because Ole used to call you nigger all the time. He had no bones about it. Because he got picked on a lot because he was Polish. So he was called a dumb Polak all the time. So he was giving it back to people. So he would call your name because they call him name. And in the wrestling business, you have to be tough to that. Especially in the older days, fans would call you names. Fans would spit on you. They would throw things on you. You could not turn around and punch a fan. You had to suck it up and take it. If you couldn't take it, you was in the wrong business. So Ole came in and told me. He said, "Yeah, he's going there." So then they left. So I'm in the car with Tommy Rich, and we get into this town called Conyer, Georgia. Concord, Georgia, or something like that. They had a sign that said, "Nigga, don't let the sun set on your ass." I said, "Tommy, take me back."
Yeah, turn around. We go back the other way. Yeah.
Tommy said,
"Yeah.
Hey, T, I got your back, T. You all right, T? You with me, brother. Don't worry about nothing." "Tommy, take me back." So Tommy took me where my car was, because Conyer, Georgia is in the suburb of Atlanta. It's not that far. So where I left my car, I got my car, I didn't make that shot. And that's the shot that Tommy was talking about. Saying, yeah, there was one town that Tony wouldn't go to. That's the town we're talking about. It was called Conyer, Georgia. And then they told me a story about they had a black policeman, and they ran him out of town. I said, hell, if they run a policeman out of town, what the hell are they going to do with me?
Right.
We're called Concord, Georgia, something like it. Run outside. If I look on the map, you can see the name, Georgia. But they was real racist back in them days. I remember I was driving with Klondike Bill in North Carolina, and they didn't have all the interstate. You take a lot of back roads, like going from a lot of back roads back in the 70s. So there was this one place that we used to stop at all the time, Klondike Bill did, at Johnny Weaver. And because the food was fantastic. See, they didn't have all the McDonald's. Most of it were truck stops. Mm-hmm. So you stop at these different truck stops. They had these stops for trucks, not for everyday people. Mm-hmm. Because most people, they didn't travel like they did now. You know, you grew up. If you grew up in Charlotte, North Carolina, you died in Charlotte, North Carolina. People didn't migrate all the places like they do now. And I kept, and I was sitting there, I used to sit in the car, and they would go in, and they would get some food and bring it in the car to me, because I couldn't go in, because this is in early 70s, and they had just desegregated America. But there was still a lot of business that they believed that they had the right to choose who they want in their restaurant. I mean, the government was not really coming down on them that much, like they do now. You know, to now, these people have been sued. So the guy said, looked out the window, and he asked Johnny Weaver, "Hey, is that Black Atlas?" Because he used to wear a mask as Black Atlas. And he said, "Yeah, that's him." He said, "Boy, that boy got some muscle, don't it?" This is what Johnny is telling me. And he said, "Yeah." He said, "Boy, I never saw a man built like him." He said, "I'd like to meet him." So Klondike said, "Oh, I go get him." So Klondike Bill got up, walked out to the car, and said, "Tony, they want the owner want to see you." So I go in, we take pictures together, had the old Polaroid cameras there. He said, "Go put that on the wall, take pictures together and everything." And I said, "What does that smell?" He said, "That's my chili." He said, "The best chili in North Carolina, South Carolina, Virginia, this side of the Mason-Dixon land. You never gonna find any but a chili than my chili." So I said, "Wow." So I figured I took pictures with him. I got invited in the store. I said, "Is it possible that I have a bowl of that?" He said, "Tony, I would love to, but we don't serve niggas here." So I said, "Well, sir, I don't mean no harm, but I don't want one anyway. I just want a bowl of chili." The man started laughing. Everybody in the whole place started laughing. So he said, "I'll tell you what, you sit down there. I'm going to give you a bowl of chili."
All right.
I was the first black, but I didn't let it get to me. And because I didn't let it get to me, the guy was just shocked.
Right. Right.
And he told Klondike, he said, "Every time y'all come through here, y'all bring that Tony in here. He said, I don't care what my customer said. Tony could eat here anytime he wants."
Nice.
I got called a nigga every time I went in there, but the chili was good.
All right, so clear the air on this. The big rumor when it comes to your brother Tommy Rich was his relationship with Jim Barnett. Did you ever ask him? Did he have to do certain things for Barnett?
This is where people got mistaken with Tommy Rich. There was only one thing, and one thing only that Barnett liked about Tommy Rich. One thing. Money. The first night, y'all don't realize this, Tommy Rich became a star in one night. This is how it happened. They brought Tommy in to be a jobber.
Right.
He's going to be a jobber for Abdullah the Butcher.
Abdullah.
Because Abdullah, what he would do, Abdullah wrestled 6 months in the States. Then he wrestled 6 months in Japan.
Sure.
So Abdullah had just came back from Japan. And they didn't want Abdullah to destroy all the talent in Georgia. So they were bringing in talent to feed Abdullah from other places. Where Tommy Rich came through that curtain. Young, good-looking. You see a picture of him when he was young.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, he was the first Dwayne Johnson.
He's a rock star.
Just a beautiful young kid. He came through that door and the frickin' women went nuts.
I bet.
Tommy could not get to the ring. His first night, he could not make it to the ring.
Wow.
They had to get people to move the women back to let him in the ring. They wanted to rape him going to the ring. He just walked through the door, and the place went freaking ape.
Amazing.
Barnett was standing there. I had a mask on then. I was Black Atlas. He said, "Can you believe this?" He said, "They ain't even seen him wrestle yet."
Right. They love
Because
him.
all wrestlers were big, rugged. You know, we were not pretty people.
Right.
You know, if you were pretty, different, you know, like we call Ric Flair a pretty boy.
Right.
But Tommy was a pretty boy.
Right. Right.
So anyway, make a long story short, Abdullah started getting heat. Now, for the fans that don't know what heat means, Abdullah started beating up on
poor Tommy.
On Tommy.
The kid.
And Tommy had this bright, silky blonde hair that turned red.
Ooh.
The hair turned completely red.
You're making the women very angry beating him up like this.
Oh,
yeah.
Ole Anderson ran to the back. I just finished my match. I wrestled the Missouri Mauler.
Okay.
That night. And he said, "Tony, get the black ass out there and run Abdullah off. He said, we're going to have a ride. The people was coming to the ring to get Abdullah.
They're getting crazy.
Abdullah was shaking. He was scared to death. He was scared to death. So
Where's my
I put my mask on, and I supposed to tie it so it don't come off. Well, I forgot to tie it.
Uh-oh.
So I run to the ring.
Wardrobe malfunction.
Abdullah, when I looked at Abdullah, Tommy was a hell of a seller. That's what got him over. The way he was a hell of a seller.
Right.
So Tommy's soul is so well that the people wanted to kill Abdullah. Abdullah could not get out of the ring. So when I jump in the ring, Abdullah's eyes was as big as 256 piece. And Abdullah looked at me and said, slam me. And he'd never been slammed before. So I picked Abdullah up to give him a slam, but because he was so big and my mask was tight, my mask came out.
Wardrobe malfunction.
And I had a big afro. Now imagine this, my head is like this.
Poof.
Yeah.
That's great. You big dummy.
Then the hair come out. I remember one lady was setting it on with me.
Oh, my Lord.
You know, like this.
Yeah, poof.
It just shot out just like this.
Oh, God.
So then I slammed Abdullah, and I started fighting Abdullah. Abdullah said, stay on me, kid, stay on me. So I'm hitting Abdullah. Abdullah's backing up, trying to get back to the dressing room because they want to kill him.
Right.
The next day, we was on a show they called the Fred and Mother Show. And you can call Tommy up and ask him this. Barnett came in and said, Odie, I want you to start pushing him. Did you see the reaction of that crowd? He said, I want you to push him. And Odie didn't like him because Tommy didn't have the big muscles.
Right.
He was skinny back then.
Yeah,
He
sure.
didn't have. He had good legs. He always had good legs.
He was in shape, but he wasn't jacked.
Right. He wasn't. But his upper body was
thin,
not strong looking.
Right.
But he had good legs.
Okay.
You know, he always had big, strong looking legs. So he said, Odie, I want you to start using him. And Odie said, well, look at him. He got no muscle, got no chest, flat chest. And he said, well, just put him with Tony Atlas. See, I think they do good together. So he put him with me. So I'm on TV. Odie said, you got to get him over. You got to get him over with the fan. And I said, this is my friend Tommy Rich. He don't have 22-inch bicep. He don't have a 50-inch chest. He can't bench press 500 pounds. But what Tommy got is fire.
Nice.
He got a lot of fire.
Nice.
He's like a wildfire. He
boy.
burned up that ring. He's like a wildfire.
Cha-ching.
The next day, we go in the ring together, and I've been there for about a year and a half longer than Tommy. Mm-hmm. And everybody started hollering, Wildfire, Wildfire. I gave him that name by accident.
Unbelievable. Man.